Nobody likes non-voluntary intermittent fasting.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Earth Aaron.
It's always the time when you want a little bite to eat, a little snack, and your body's like, I dare you.
Yeah.
I double dare you. Go ahead, try to eat something, nibble on something, see what happens, bucko. I don't know if I've ever just had like straight up food poisoning before. I probably have. I was just probably just too obtuse to realize it, because that's how I roll. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It is Wednesday. I'm sneaking out some social media bits on the old Twitters and the Mastodons.
Twitters and toots. Tweets and toots.
Gonna do that.
Or now it's called Publish. On Mastodon.
How are you doing, Joe?
Hello. Hello, Joe.
I saw Joe asked me a little bit earlier, and Joe was like, hey, man, when's this show start? I'm like, you know what? I'm just keeping with tradition. On episode 362, Eastern. We're going to do 3 o'clock.
It's noon for me, Joe. So I sometimes I have to think about it. Like I just, by default, I know everything is Eastern Standard Time. So.
Oh, there we go, everybody. So
hello, Oil of Hope.
We're going to be rocking and rolling tonight. Talking about BlendOS and Ubuntu Pro. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Hello System, not 0.8.0, and of course, a Raspberry Pi powered hunting device.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good term for it.
We just got to buy a lot of them.
Yeah.
So we can have a little bit of a flock.
It's a little bit of a T1000 there.
I don't know if I go like T1000 in this one. I say this is more like T11.
11, yeah, true.
Let's see, live.
Yeah, Joe, we're happy to have you in live again. Yay!
Linux talk, Linux things.
I'm gonna go take a quick break because we're gonna be on time today.
Oh, how dare her, Jill? How dare her? Yeah, I got a bunch of running around to do, like work stuff, but that's cool. We want to make time for these shows. Let me see. We are making Linux noises. There we go. We've done that. Social media. Let's do some more social media. Boop, making Linux noises. We're gonna hit publish. Right there we go. Boom. And we are done. We are ready. Yeah, I was telling Jill, like, I came cruising here about 5 minutes late. We normally start about 15 minutes before we go live. Just to shake everything down, just to go, let's see what's going to be on fire. Have you ever had this happen? I had a bunch of stuff in my shopping cart, getting ready to order. And it's not time sensitive stuff. This is just like home delivery stuff. I'm like, yo, I need some Windex and office supply stuff too. This is not exciting stuff like canned air, and it was like 16 little things, but office stuff, boring stuff that takes forever to like look up, like in paper clips. And I get everything together and like, all right, cool. When's that going to be? Delivery at 6, done. And I go to hit checkout, and everything just crashes. Like the app crashes, everything. Like, what's going on here? And I try logging in on the web zone, and it says everything's out of stock. I don't know. I was a little bit miffed, because here I was trying to be responsible on a Wednesday. No. Unicorn meat's the best meat. And I still have a can of unicorn meat. That's probably got to be worth something. If it's not like dissolved through the tin, whatever. What was it originally inside of it? Man, I've been watching a bunch of people play Dead Space. I've never played Dead Space. That looks like an incredibly boring game. What came first, Dead Space or Dark Souls? That sounds like something I could probably Google. But people have beat me. Dead Space remake. When was that was like an old game too, right? Original Dead Space. Oh, it's got a Wikipedia. Dead Space 2008. All right. First Dark Souls game. We are going to learn something. Oh! The first time PlayStation 3 and Xbox 2011, so, alright. Alright. I'm gonna have to change that up, man. Dark Souls is aping on Dead Space, right? I always start saying this is the Dead Space of precision platformers, or this is the, yeah, we're gonna start using that of cookie clicking. Oh boy. What else do we have going on? I got the podcasting guide things out. Those should be out for patrons. I'm going to talk about that right at the top of the show. And I've managed to get DaVinci Resolve running on an AMD 5600G using the AMD Pro drivers, because it turns out, oh, I'll talk about this at the beginning. I don't want to spoil it. Stay tuned. It turns out that's never a good sign for me, is it? It's like, I'm about to have words. Okay, so we have that together. Let's get that back. Let's check our shots. Gun. Gun. That's gun. Alright. We should be ready to rock and roll. Let's check that. How are we doing, Mr. Jitsi server? 8.5. Alright. I have faith in you, Joe. You can shut the door. Did you get that door shut?
Yeah, I had to, just in case there's a kitty cat comes in to visit Steve's husband.
Ah, man. You can do the hack. You can pick the cat up and toss it out the front door and close the door.
No. Oh, he's been keeping hubby company while husband's been sick.
Poor Steve's sick, having to put up with cats.
Yeah, he was sleeping. Just before I came in the door, in the room.
Who, the cat or Steve?
Both. Oh, what mug? Yeah, I got my other scale mug. I got all my scale mugs. Getting excited for the next scale. I've got the mugs strewn around the room.
It's starting to look like a... It was getting all normalized for a minute now. Now it's back to like proper hoarder.
Yeah, yeah. I got out a lot of scale stuff and put it out. But it'll just be there until after scale, and then I'll put it away.
Oh, man. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and hop into it. We're going to get that loaded up. We are good to go there. That's that. Hard record. Second record. Hopefully Jill's box doesn't explode on my end, because it is this is the first time I've re-imaged it after installing some things on it. I'll talk about that in just a minute, though. Let's go ahead. Hey everyone, welcome back to Linux Weekly, daily Wednesdays where we sit back, relax, take that midweek break, talk about some of the fun things going on in the world of Linux and open source. I'm Vince Stone, joined every week by Jill Bryant and everyone at home watching us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Linux Gamecast. If it's / something else, well, then you should go there as well. Usually on the podcast, I was talking with Empty earlier he's been keeping me apprised of. For whatever reason, Linux Gamecast Weekly did not update on Google Podcast.
Yeah, the RSS feed had issues.
No, it didn't.
Oh, just on Google, huh?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
It was a Google problem. You could go to Google and you could pull up the RSS feed and you could see the podcast entry, and it was just like, yeah, whatever, not my problem. And
boy.
it fixed itself though, so that's the end of the story. We were talking about that earlier this morning. I'm like, I love it when something just magically starts working again after I've done nothing. I'm like, I can't wait to reproduce that next time when it doesn't automatically do that.
Google fixed it, or didn't update. That fixed it.
It's usually Apple, and Apple you got to worry about. Apple is like the proto RSS feed for podcasts, because a bunch is like your Stitchers. I mean, Spotify and Anchor, they do their own thing, but like Last FM, all these other places pull off of your Apple feed.
Yeah.
So if Apple doesn't update all these other places, Google just does its own thing. It's pointed directly at my RSS feed, and we host our own RSS feed. You know, we don't have like RSS syndication or anything, so I know the origin source is just fine. But whatever, it works now. We just nod our heads. And
nice.
If you've been listening to Linux Gamecast Weekly on the Google Podcast, which surprisingly they haven't killed yet, weird now. The latest episode is now available. That I think aired today 3 days ago. It's like got some weird glitch on it. It's kind of entertaining. So, Joe, you know I got a couple of AMD 5600Gs laying around, right?
Yeah, you do. You did something special with them, too.
Well, the first one I bought for Jackbox, and that's our audio system in the studio. It's like this whole thing over here, and it's pretty cool, big hit. Got the motherboard, CPU. It does its own thing. And I was so impressed by that. I said, hey, let's build a Steam Rectangle, which I did live, and that video is up on YouTube. And just to use it as integrated GPU, you know, so we didn't need a discrete GPU. We can use it for Trackmania, and we can use it for other wild and wacky projects up to and including. How hard is it to get the AMD GPU Pro drivers up and running?
That's nightmare fuel, right? Nightmare fuel, Vin.
In 2023. This has been we were talking about this last night. Trackmania, come hang out with us. If you like puzzle platforming and racing, we do it on Tuesdays and Fridays. Filthy.linuxgamecast.com. But we were talking in the after shows about, the AMD. Like, AMD loves open source and Linux, and AMD. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of fanfic in that, people. When it comes down to what does AMD really think about Linux? Well, if you want to find out, go download their pro drivers, the closed sourced ones that have the special bits you absolutely need to do some of the cool stuff, like with DaVinci Resolve, some of your compute stuff, your OpenCL, the fancy things that AMD's like, we're not open sourcing that. All right. Here's the problem. The pro drivers have been bad on AMD since before they were AMD. This goes back to ATI. This goes back to Radeon Technologies Group, which had openly hostile to Linux. Like, they were just like, you nerds, get away. The situation's slightly better in 2023. And I've decided to, take the Pepsi challenge. I've recorded it. You know what? You get to watch me install Ubuntu. Why am I installing Ubuntu? These AMD drivers are the type of drivers where you can choose any operating system that you want as long as it's Ubuntu, SLES, or RHEL.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm picking the less three evils here. But I did manage to get everything up and running. And one thing I ran into, I don't know how this propagated, but it's like somebody originally, maybe a year or two ago, wrote incorrect instructions on how to get the pro drivers up and running on Linux. And a bunch of other sites just copied that site.
Not good. Yeah.
As they tend to do it without ever verifying it or checking it, because why would anybody ever do that? It's going to be a fun one. It's I just got to do the voice work on top of that. And I think another thing I'm going to be doing, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it this week, but maybe next week. The fan-made SteamOS 3.0 live CD image that the community's come up with?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing like a little live stream of getting that installed and set up.
Oh, that would be excellent.
Since we have Rectangle. I'm really trying to get extra use out of Rectangle. Okay, we're still trying to justify building that. So, yeah, I've been doing that. Also, if you're curious about how the sausage is made at Linux Themecast, wait no longer if you're a patron, and that is currently up. 2 posts, getting Reaper set up, getting a session put together, learning how to mix and do all the fun stuff, the nitty gritty. We're not trying to turn you into an audio nerd, but we're definitely going to get you pointed in the right direction, get you armed with the tools just enough to make you dangerous. And I even give you some sample media that I'm using in the video as a demonstration, so you can play with it at home and just kind of get an idea what's going on. So the next time you find like, oh, look, I'm just going to, use like this one magic button that, fix everything button, and it turns out it doesn't sound that great. Maybe you want to know what it's trying to do, so you can go back in and modify the deal and make it sound like you need it to sound. So that's there. That'll be out for everybody. I think this Friday it'll be up for public consumption. So, but if you want to get your snack pick at that and your early looks and you get your questions. However, I am going to keep the comments section on those videos linked to their Patreon pages. They're not going to be open for comments on YouTube just because I don't need to deal with the blank avatars of people going, well, then what you need to do is, made over 1,000 podcasts. I don't need to be told what I need to do. I got proof out there.
Yes.
I think I'm okay, Mr. Anonymous YouTuber.
Yeah.
All right.
Ven is king.
Jill, I'm trying, Jill. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to fight the good fight. I'm trying to help the people. Be an avatar of change. You have apparently caused Steve to quit eating.
Oh, so yeah, me and Steve husband had a wonderful time at Disneyland Friday to celebrate Disney's 100th. But he has been sick the last few days. I didn't get sick, so we're thinking it might be food poisoning. I don't know, but it's been hard on him. That's the sickest he's been in years. So I've been helping him out a lot. But he's eating food now, so that's the important thing. Yeah.
See Steve's like, just keep your eyes closed.
Yeah. And I'm also been really working hard on preparing for the Southern California Linux Expo, as I do every year. But this year is going to be a big one. Scale is going to be back at full capacity again at pre-pandemic numbers. That's what it looks like it's happening. So
have they moved back to the old convention center?
Yes, we are back at the Pasadena Convention Center, March 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And you can use the promo code CHIX when you register on the first page of registration to get 50% off. And
what if I do it on the second page?
It doesn't work there. But that's courtesy of Linux Chicks of Los Angeles. You get 50% off your registration. So make sure to take advantage of that.
Good news. And what is the website for Scale?
Scale scale20x.org. Actually, let me check that right now because I always knew it by heart, but yeah. Oh, actually, SoCalLinuxExpo.org. You can find it there.
SoCal Linux Expo.
Yeah.
All right. Good times. All right. Let's go ahead and hop into it because we want to talk about what on the surface to me, Jill Bryant, looks like an incredibly crazy idea.
I know. This really is. So there is a new and very unique Linux operating system called BlendOS that you can actually download and try out right now. Rudra Saraswat, the maintainer of Ubuntu Unity and the Unity desktop environment, he stated in a tweet, "I've created BlendOS, an immutable desktop operating system that seamlessly blends all your Linux distros together, thus killing distro hopping. Experience the future." Yay, and I know this was a challenge for him to make. So BlendOS is once again, an immutable operating system, but this one is built around DistroBox and uses the GNOME desktop environment. And it is based on Arch Linux and GNOME on Wayland, but it lets you use apps from other popular distributions such as Fedora Linux or Ubuntu. And this is actually possible because you can use the native package managers from Arch Linux, which uses Pacman by default. You can use Fedora Linux DNF and Ubuntu apt, which are actually included as containers using DistroBox and Podman. So very creative. And the live ISO image is actually very basic and only includes a few packages, as it's really it's mainly designed to let you install the distribution on bare metal. So it was a pretty fun to install too.
I mean, at least it's got XFC in there. It's got i3 in there.
It sure does. It sure does. You got lots of choice, and eventually, Rudra Saraswat said it'll have Ubuntu Unity, or excuse me, it'll have the Unity desktop environment as well, because he's the maintainer on that. So that's coming as well. But this is it's really impressive, and it actually comes out of the box with support for sandboxed Flatpak apps, and you can easily install those directly from the FlatHub Store app, which is actually a web app that puts the FlatHub website on your desktop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really sweet. And I had actually, I installed apt and had fun downloading apt get it a few of my favorite apps. One was Audacity, and the other was the BB Demo Scene app, which I love. I always use that as a test on new installs.
So I'm taking a look at this, and I'm going through it, and I'm thinking to myself, it's all kind of neat. I understand, hey man, I run Arch, right? Get it?
Yeah.
Because it's based on Arch. But, you got to roll it back a little bit. It's like, do you run something like this for the funsies? Or does BlendOS really fill a niche? Does it fill a need?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, I think absolutely. Honestly, I'm going to keep it installed on bare metal to use it for the show, because sometimes there's apps that are only available on Flatpak. Sometimes there's apps only available on Debian, which is, there's a lot of software only made for Debian. And
sounds like a use case for running Debian to me.
Yeah, I know. There are other ways of doing this, and installing apps from other distros within your favorite app, favorite OS you use. But this is just, I think it's really brilliant.
Falling under my
you got a
category
rolling
of
release.
Neat.
Yes. And it is, the main base is Arch, so it's rolling release. So you get all the current hardware.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give somebody doing tech support a nervous breakdown, have somebody call in running BlendOS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just be hung up on outright.
Aww.
No, click. That's a cool project. I thought it'd be fun to give it a mention, and
definitely, it's good for those distro hoppers too, who want to learn, who want to learn DNF and apt in one place.
I have zero patience for distro hoppers, Joe.
Yeah.
Then when will I quit being a distro hopper? When Linux stops being your hobby and becomes your operating system.
Yeah, when you need to get work done.
Yeah. Now that's not knocking on anybody at all whatsoever. If Linux distro hopping is your hobby, I'm like, weird hobby. But you know what? I support it, because you're out there, you're not hurting anybody, and you're learning cool stuff. 100% down with it. BlendOS, where can they get that? BlendOS.co would be the web zone if you want to go right there. So, new, wild, wacky, Arch-based stuff like that. Now let's talk about what used to be the old hotness. It used to be the wild and wacky. It used to be the Wild West. It was the crazy ones. It was the Renegades. Talking about Ubuntu. It's been around long enough. When you think about Ubuntu, you're like, oh yeah, the business distro, right? Yeah. Well, Ubuntu Pro's out. and you can give them money. Isn't that awesome? What? You're not excited about that, Joe?
Oh, I think it's no. This is really good because they're going into
I mean, I'm going to get
supporting
into
the
it.
enterprise.
I'm just wondering if you were excited about it.
Well, personally, I don't need to pay for my Ubuntu distro, but there are times when you might need to.
What are we looking at in reality, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we're talking about the Ubuntu Pro and the Ubuntu Pro plans. And, we've talked about this in the past, but now it is completely official. $25 a year for your security updates, $150 for full support. That's right. Well, it's $150 for Monday through Friday support if you want. That 24/7, you can send off a support ticket. You can send off an email anytime, any day. That's $300 a year. And that includes, like I just said, phone and ticket support right there. 24/7. That only breaks down to like $121 a day for full desktop support, which I think is reasonable if you have a couple of Ubuntu boxes laid around that you have to that you don't want to deal with. Maybe it's the right way to do it. I don't know. Full service description. I'm playing around with it right now. I'm just going through the website and taking a look at what you get: the assurance program, expanded security maintenance, kernel live patch services, advanced Active Directory, landscape and the knowledge base, and just tons of stuff to play around with. I don't hate this idea. I mean, I'd much rather this be a way for Canonical to get some revenue by providing a service than like doing anything like weird or sketchy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, they are competing with the rail services. So I think this is a good way to do it. And it's inexpensive, and you need that support. And Canonical has really been branching out in the cloud and AI and infrastructure world. So this makes sense. This really makes sense.
For personal use, what's it going to cost me, Joe?
Oh, so anyone can use Ubuntu Pro for free up to 5 machines, or 50 machines if you are an official Ubuntu community member. That's pretty awesome. So again, if you're just at home for home use, you don't really need to pay. Most people don't have to pay for Ubuntu Pro, which is nice. And
like even if you got some old boxes laying around, and again, I'm thinking about like work and maintenance. If I got an old LTS sitting, in a virtual private VPS somewhere, I don't want to blow it away because it's running that one particular version of that one particular thing and it still works, but you still want it to stay up and running and secure. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking, like if I wanted to set up a render farm, which I have before, I've set up multiple Ubuntu boxes, and now I can get support for free if I only use it on 5 machines, and inexpensive if I want to go greater than that.
And we do want to make it very clear on like you get free support. You don't get like ticket support. You don't get you can't call them up.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody thinking as long as it's under 5 machines. So where's it? 1-800-Ubuntu. Hey, how's it? What? Bye. What?
Yeah. And they have the 2 different options, which is nice. So they have the main package, which is 2,300 packages in the Ubuntu main repo, is supported for 10 years. And they have the Pro Main plus Universe, which is the 2,300 packages in the Ubuntu main repo included, plus an additional 23,000 plus packages in the Ubuntu Universe repository for 10 years. So you got support for 10 years, which is amazing. It really is amazing.
So when you have that like extra long support, I mean that's a good value add. And I'm just happy that they're doing something like this. And Ubuntu. Now that we've taken like the steps to get like official per seat support. Get that Ubuntu call center. Like, hey, what's up? This is Ubuntu. Here's a problem. Let's see if we can solve it. And we got some desktop support. Let's start making some workstations canonical.
Yeah, there we go.
Let me get a canonical Ubuntu workstation that doesn't look like an Atari 2600.
Mm-hmm.
Running just regular old boring Ubuntu. That'd be kind of fun. Then you'd have your tech support built in. Would you buy your your jiggly jellyfish workstation? You can put some LEDs in it.
Yeah. Well, this is really nice because it's not, again, this is focused on desktop, not necessarily enterprise. So it's a nice go-between for those users that need Ubuntu on their workstation for rendering and AI and for small businesses. It's great. Or big businesses.
It'll be kind of. I want to like spend more time and play around and see what they actually cover. And I'm like, yo, I'm getting some issues with PyTorch. I'm like, or call them up. I'm like, hey, help me set up this ChatGPT thing. How's this work?
Yes.
You're like, so how
you
far
gotta get to the website first. You gotta be able to load the website first. When ChatGPT.
You just host your own instance, Joe.
Yeah, well, there's that. That's even better.
I mean, if I called them up at Ubuntu, like, how do I get to the website? It's not working. They can hang up on me and laugh at me then.
Yeah.
Like, that was a silly question. Go to New Canonical. I like to see ideas like this. And, support is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. But yeah, like get into the razor thin margin hardware business. Let's get some workstations from Canonical. All right. What do we have next? Hello.
Yeah. So say hello to a new operating system. Yeah. So Hello System is a desktop system for creators with a focus on simplicity, elegance, and usability.
And why does it look like a Mac?
Yes, it does, Van. It does. Its design follows the less but better philosophy, and it is intended. That doesn't even
look like a Mac. That looks like my Linux box in like 2001.
It does kind of actually, but yes, Van. It is intended as a system for mere mortals, welcoming to switchers from the Mac. And honestly, it looks almost exactly like older Mac OS X, like Snow Leopard, but with the aqua theme. So yeah, it does look like old Linux as well. And FreeBSD is used as the core operating system, and it has shortcut links to download lots of graphics and multimedia apps like GIMP, Blender, Inkscape, Krita, and even OBS Studio. But some of these links don't work yet because this is still this project is still in development. But Hello System 0.8.0 is out now and is based on the FreeBSD 13.1 release and includes lots of cool new features like pre-installed VirtualBox guest editions. So it works nicely with VirtualBox with cutting and pasting and resizing your screen and resolution. And improved Linux subsystem, support for some applications packaged in the AppImage cross-distro format. MIDI controllers can be connected by USB, are available to ALSA MIDI apps. And this is one of the things that I was impressed with. GPU acceleration is enabled for web engine-based browsers such as Falcon, which comes pre-installed. And also you can install a Debian Linux runtime, which is actually much easier now with easy access from the menu. And there's lots of bugs fixed. And that way you can run Debian apps, kind of like what you do with BlendOS. And this release actually features Debian 11 Bullseye runtime. This is really nice. So, Van, I installed the latest experimental version, the version we're talking about, which is 0.8.0, and wow. Honestly, that was the fastest and easiest FreeBSD install I have ever had.
So, did you try the latest experimental version?
I did 0.8.0. I didn't get to 0.8.1.
The latest and greatest.
Yeah. Well, everyone was talking about 0.8.0, so I just did that one. But I want to do 0.8.12 as well. But the install just took less than 5 minutes in a virtual machine with GNOME boxes. And it was cool because I was greeted with a really beautiful welcome screen on first boot, a lot like the Mac OS X one. And I actually got startled by there was nice music playing with the welcome screen, and I wasn't expecting it. And I had my speakers up pretty loud. But it very, very elegant and seamless on the install and the welcome screen. And, the devs have really worked hard to make this so easy to install and with all the bells and whistles that macOS users are used to, except that this OS installs in just a few minutes, not an hour. Thank you, macOS X, not an hour. And for a distro that's still in development, it is really, really polished. And I was actually so impressed by this version by Hello System that I installed it bare metal on one of my old 2015 iMacs, and it worked beautifully on my iMac.
Yes, my iMac from the year 215.
Yes,
it was a simpler time.
But yeah, I was really impressed, Ben, with Hello System. So I'm going to upgrade it to 0.8.1 as well in the next couple days.
So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you a story, kids. Let's gather around. Way back when, like in 2000, 2001, the Linux desktop was infested with OS X and Aqua.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody was doing it. There was GNOME themes, GTK themes, there was Qt themes for K.
Yes.
And some still keep that Aqua around. I'm looking at you, Enlightenment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's its own thing at this point,
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We moved on from that and we started doing our own things, Katie's got its own look and feel. GNOME's got its own look and feel because we discovered something along the way. A little bit of knowledge because step one, the kind of people who are attracted to Macs are not the kind of people that want to know how to install an operating system.
Yeah. So the developers are trying to make it as easy as possible.
The Venn diagram, they're not going to do it unless the developer's going to come to their house with this pre-installed aluminium block and go, here you go. Does everything work completely out of the box without me having to do anything? No. Then be gone with it.
Yeah.
Now, this is, of course, my 2023 segment of if it looks like a thing, it needs to work like a thing segment. That can do a lot of harm. This can do a lot of harm. That's why I'm very much against anything that looks like Windows, trying to make it like Windows 10, Windows 11, anything that looks like Mac, trying to do it. Because if it looks like it, people expect it to work like it. And the second it doesn't, they get angry. The users, it breaks their... And what does that reflect negatively on? On this one, BSD, but most of the times on Linux. And this is something I've been seeing for 30 years. This is not new. And
this is true.
Bring your hate back at me. I can take it, but I have a very logical argument here that you're like, but now for me and you, we're cool. We're different. We're looking at it. We're like, oh, we can make it look like the funny thing and it can do the funny stuff. Look at that. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
But for new users, this is not how you attract new users. Now, maybe people who want to relive that classic Mac style, like Jill was talking about, maybe we got something. I don't know. I saw Arthur in chat say, like, this is like the third time they've renamed this project, which I don't know.
True. Yeah.
What was it called before? Howdy?
Yeah. I'm forgetting.
A couple of things we need to talk about. Jill did bring up it's based on BSD, so there's that. And it's only been tested on an Acer Revo and a Dell Optiplex 780. So if you have anything outside of that, good luck. Mm-hmm. It's BSD, so all your networking stuff might not be supported that well. You might end up having to get like a USB like dongle to get some networking up and running.
Yeah.
But they do say, hey, just make sure you refer to the BSD hardware compatibility because I mean, it's BSD.
Yeah, it's BSD and it's easy to install BSD, which is really nice and it installs so quickly, even on a virtual machine under 5 minutes. I was really impressed.
times are strange. I mean, you pretty much have to get like BSD is one of the last holdouts, and even though it's not 100%, Linux is hard to get to use as a productive desktop environment because there's just too many games and distractions on it these days.
Yeah.
You got to go with, even BSD, but you can still play a lot of games and stuff on BSD. That used to be our joke with the Linux desktop. You're like, hey man, you're not distracted by games and all this other junk. You got to stick and stay focused. Now that's not the case anymore. Let's install Steam. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Hello System. Give that a look over at GitHub and go play with BSD too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be interesting to play around with OBS on it too, and do a test live stream on BSD. So that's actually really cool.
Go for it.
Yeah. I'd have to put it on something a little more powerful than my iMac.
What's your iMac running?
Well, it is a quad core Core i7. I got 16 gigs of RAM on it, but I do need to replace the spinning rest drive, so I need to put an SSD on it. And it would, it's actually got a really nice camera on it, and it works beautifully under Linux, but it might have some issues when I'm trying to do heavy bandwidth on it.
Then don't do heavy bandwidth.
Yeah. Yeah, do OBS. I can do like a 720 or 1080.
Do a 640 by 480.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
Old school.
Oh, now you don't like old school stuff?
Oh, no. Actually, that would work. That would definitely work. Honestly, I probably could push this because I do have Iris Graphics, Intel Iris Graphics on it, which does work with OBS. So
you could probably get a functional. I mean, I can write you enough of Vimbec script that'll get you live on Twitch. It'll take me about 10 minutes, but
yeah.
So there is that. One more thing we need to talk about before we do that. We want to thank everybody supporting the show over at patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. If you want to help us out, kick us a few quid, you can do that. LinuxGamecast.com. We got a support button. We got our Patreons. We got merch. We got my PayPal studio wish list. We got the Bitcoins, Magic Internet monies. But if you do support us, you're one of those awesome, super powered people who's back us on Patreon, you get a bunch of stuff in return, up to including, you like this little show, this little tiny part of the show. We got a live and uncut series, which is usually about an hour, 2 hours long, depending. I mean, sometimes it's longer than 2 hours. In your own custom RSS feed that you get just for backing us. Early access, like you can pop over there right now and be like, hey, how are these podcasts made? Those videos are up for your perusement. And of course, you get that Old Man Vin customer support right there in the comments section, without having to write a check for Canonical. Hey,
yeah.
Look at it that way. Access to our gaming live streams that we do, access to our Trackmania server. Come hang out with us on Tuesdays and Fridays. We do that. And of course, on Thursdays, Jordan is always up to something. He's currently working his way through Borderlands 3 if you'd like to join him for that. And we have the after shows on the Saturdays. Where we just invite everybody out. It's a horrible idea, but it's a tradition. We're like, hey, you know what? Hop in our Discord and come say, hey, come hang out live on air with everybody so we get to know each other. So that is cool. That is awesome. We do thank you for your continued support. What else do I have? Oh man, yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned for the DaVinci Resolve. Just don't even worry about DaVinci Resolve. Just stay tuned for installing AMD Pro drivers. That's going to be entertaining. We do want to thank somebody who has resubbed recently on Twitch, though, Joe.
Yeah, Gamatron. Thank you, Gamatron. She's one of our most active in chat, and we love her. And thank you for your 16-month resub on Twitch. Very nice.
Can I go to the, I have this dashboard. I never look at it. Katana Steel also subscribed for 27.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes.
And, that was like Saturday. We had the notifications up. Skittles and Don cheered some bits last Saturday. Just because I was like, hey, look, the bits things works. And everyone just started cheering bits. And like, yay.
Yes.
I'm not 100% on what bits are, but thank you. They're awesome. We love them. Cool. Let's talk about Robo-puppers.
Oh, how cute! That's like a steampunk cake with a metal dog on the top.
Oh, steampunk. Steampunk.
Yes.
When
It's got
goths
gears
discovered
and knobs.
brown.
Yeah. And yeah, all kinds of gears and knobs and gold.
What I'm talking about is XGO2, world's first Raspberry Pi robotic dog with an arm. That's right. No leg,
Yeah.
just an arm. They wanted about 20 grand to get this going, and everybody took a look at it and said, here's about 95 grand. So you might be familiar with Spot, right? Boston Dynamics robo-puppers.
Yeah. Yep.
One of the prototype hunter-killer models.
Uh-huh.
So this is like maybe a quarter scale of that. And
Yeah.
it is super neat, intelligent, agile, open source too, and it's running a little Raspberry Pi. This is, in fact, according to them, the first Raspberry-powered Robo-Doge with an arm. That's right. It can pinch you, which is
Yeah. It
super
can
neat.
pinch you.
Right?
Well, I was impressed, Ben, that this one has like a nice LCD screen that you can put little emojis on or, show stats of running software or hardware. It's pretty cool. It makes it much more friendlier than the creepy Boston Dynamics dog.
Oh, I have faith in the open source community. We can really creep this thing out.
Yeah.
It's using Compute Module 4, so it is a little bit on Obsidian right there. It's going to support, it does support, I guess I should say, gesture commands, dancing, tracking, self-stabilization, everything you need to find Sarah Connor, basically, man.
Yeah.
Couple of models. You get the Mini Lite and the XGO Mini.
Look at that. Oh, the way it's running right now, moving its back up and down. That's creepy.
Relatively
But
inexpensive
impressive.
because, you're looking at this. This doesn't look cheap. This looks like something put some time on
Yeah.
it. And you can get these are priced starting at $400.
$400 is really good.
For what that is.
Yeah.
They're small.
And it has a robotic arm. I mean, you can spend more than that trying to build a kit with a robot arm for the Raspberry Pi. So this is pretty cool.
Let's see. Yeah, $449 for the base unit, for the super early bird, the early bird. And now all of these are estimated deliveries in April of 2023, which is code for we've already got everything we need to ship these things out. We're just doing kind of a what would you, market speculation pre-order type thing. Like, we need to see how many more we need to order real quick.
Yeah.
Like, these things are made. So you don't have to worry about that. You can get 2 of them for like $700. I want one. If you're watching, send me one. I'll play with it on the air. I'll make it do incredibly bad, dumb things within the Twitch's TOS and YouTube's TOS. So they won't be that terribly bad. Now, here's the thing, though. I'm going to need at least 11 of them. Because I'm going to need 11, and possibly I need to get a hold of somebody who is into like a seamstress or something, because I'm going to need 11 small velociraptor costumes.
Oh, yeah. See, that would be cute in your studio. You have your own Jurassic Park, Finn?
No, I was going to hunt people outside with them.
Oh, okay.
I just
There
don't
you
think
go.
the human brain's ready for that, to have 11 of these come ripping out of the woods onto the
Yeah.
sidewalk chasing after you.
No.
Especially if I can make them scream. Like the little dinosaur screams, right? What?
Yeah. Velociraptor.
Utah-raptor, we could do that. We could have like the lead one screaming like from Mars Attack, do not run. We are your friends.
Oh, yeah.
And they can have their little arms just like pinching you.
Yes.
Yeah. How many do you think it would take to take down a full-size adult?
Yeah. And it would definitely thwart someone coming on your property trying to do not so nice activity. This would scare the heck out of them.
No, would not steal it, Jill. I'd just pick it up and carry it off. I mean, that's why these things have to hunt in packs. Safety in
Yes.
numbers. Yeah, if just one of these came up to me, I'm like, yoink, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I do want one. And there's even an
neat.
Android app to play around with the rippers, and it's got the wiggles, posture control. Yeah, I want one for $400. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
that at that price,
Mhm.
absolutely. I want to. Joe was saying in chat, wonder how my dog would react to one. Yeah, good point, Joe. I would like to see how my cat would react. He'd probably destroy it. So.
Probably cats are not very bright creatures. I mean,
No, they're bright enough to know that this is not. Yeah, you're in my territory. Go away. So.
Speaking of going away, we got to run, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week, 3 o'clock. If you get a chance to come check us out live, twitch.tv/Linux Teamcast. I'm going to get good at remembering that. One of these days, I'll be able to find our own Twitch page. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's roll some credits.
Yes. Woohoo! We have so many people to thank. We got Joe in chat. We got Arthur. We got Inertia. Oh boy, Don M's in there. Mac Geek's in there. Lots of people in our live chat.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm saying,
We got Mir in
Nersha.
there.
I mean, that's why you need 11 of them to play with your pet.
Yeah. We got -9 is in there. And all the names of all our beautiful patrons that are scrolling by that I can't read quick enough.
Tons and tons of people flying by. We do want to thank each and every one of you, even our cheerlings. Super special. That's why
Yeah.
purple.
Yes.
Episode 362. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Ben was patting his stomach.
I don't have a stomach anymore.
I don't have a stomach much. I have big hips. And it's hard to find clothes for me. I've always had very
That's why
large
we need
hips.
11 robotic little doggies, because they can help you find clothes, Jill. You can set
Yeah.
a loose out in the yard, and they can go steal. I'm sure people have clotheslines.
Yeah. I need robotic dogs to tailor my clothes, to shorten the legs on new pants. Even petites pants are too long for me. I still have to roll them up.
See, this is why I put my clothes in a box and I send them to this thing called a tailor.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had to do that too.
All of my, well, you know what? This shirt's not, but you can tell. Because if I hold my arm out, it's a little short.
It's a little short. See, mine, look at it. See, I have to roll up sweatshirts unless I have them tailored.
And if this thing gripped, like most shirts, if I did that with my back, I'd rip the back out of them. And of course, it's too short. It's hard because if they think I'm big enough to have my shoulder size and like back size, and they think I'm also like 400 pounds.
Yeah, I could see. You
And
know,
I'm
they make
not.
clothes for big people and tall.
I
not
got a wee
necessarily
little
just
tiny
tall.
waist, Jill.
Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily just
Why are you
tall.
listed twice? I don't know. You want to be listed 3 times? I mean, what? How many times do you need to be listed?
Yeah, Katana, I can send my excess fabric to Ben, that's for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, I got literally I got a pair because it's kind of cold, so I have a pair of sweatpants on. But I only have two
Joe,
two
you
pairs.
always want a pair of sweatpants.
Well, no, usually I'm wearing my yoga pants or something.
Okay, we've had this argument. You're not
Yeah.
going to win.
But right now I have my sweatpants on, and there's only 2 pairs of sweatpants that I've ever had in my life that actually are the right length. But that's because they're meant to be the short cropped pants. You know, more like a woman's. What do you call it? I'm forgetting the name. What's the name? So, anyway, shorter pants. Pants that come up to a woman's knee, fit lengthwise on me. Capris. Yes, that's it. So I have tons. Yeah, Joe. So I have tons of capri pants because capri pants mostly fit me lengthwise my whole leg. So oftentimes when I go to the store, I buy capris. And even sometimes they're a little long, so I have to get them tailored or rolled up. Yeah, I'm...
See, that's like one of
Yeah.
the things, though, like inertia. I mean, you're sitting in front of a computer box. Like, you can punch that in and figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, I've not... my line in the sun was, like, what do they call it? I don't even know. What are freedom units in the temperature system? The Fahrenheit system? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I've never learned that. I refuse to learn that. I've been here almost 20 years. I've still not learned it. And, LOL, not going to happen. But, yeah, I'm hopeless with the gallons. Like,
Yeah, I am too. I know kilometers and miles because I grew up enough in Mexico to know what a kilometer per mile is, and so I knew that. But down there they used Fahrenheit, so I hadn't really
Kilofeet,
Celsius.
man. What are you talking about?
I hadn't used Celsius much until I started on Linux Gamecast. So
We
then
do,
I learned it. I learned it then for you.
We do thermofeet and kilofeet. Yeah, and the whole point of the thing is like you're sitting in front. Anyone here sitting in front of a computer?
Yeah,
Right.
You just Google everything. I know.
Right.
But I wanted to learn it. I wanted to learn the differences. So
But they're numbers. I mean, they are different.
yeah.
Yeah. See, I got a bit of that growing up, though. I mean, I still had a little bit of a, like in primary school, we were still learning imperial weights to an extent because it was during the transition, but like, whatever. I have a, what do they call it? I can go get it. Seems clothing tape measurement thing. It's made out of cloth.
The cloth one. Yeah.
And it's got freedom units on it. And I
Yeah.
can fold it up and I can carry it with me when I'm out and about buying stuff where I can
Yeah.
figure out what's what. And it works great.
Yeah.
Can,
Then so
one more-
like you on the tops. If I get a bottom that's wide enough to go around my hips, they assume that I'm huge obese. So the legs are like way too wide. So that's my problem. So it's like the reverse. Except you on the top, you're tall and thin, and so you don't you're not huge on the top. So that's what happens with me. And then because I have larger hips than most women do. My whole family does. We all have big hips. My father did. My father had bigger hips than my mother. And so we all have really big hips, but I got a really thin waist. So it's hard to fit stuff.
Taylor.
And then I have short legs. So
Taylor.
then I have to get everything tailored. Yeah. I sometimes, every once in a while, will run on the one thing that actually fits, like these pants I got on.
Yeah, shoe sizes are a whole different
Oh gosh, yeah.
Gnome 2 feeling.
Aw, nice. That like nice desktop not on him. Do 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 do.
Is that what we look like on Windows? This is Windows box with his Dell. We got that together. Now what was it? I need to buy some new boots. I don't want to buy some new boots. It's just been like 5 or 6 years since I bought some new boots.
Yeah. Do they usually last like 5 to 10 years on you?
Usually like 6 or 7 years. But, I spend, $300 on a pair of boots. They better
Yeah.
last 6 or 7 years, right?
Yeah, they better. Nice leather boots.
My boots are handmade.
Nice. I need a new pair of boots. I like wearing boots when it's cold.
I just always wear boots, but like they're like dress boots. Pedro finally broke down and bought the same boots that I wear.
Yeah, the nice ones.
But, you know, they're basically like the whole, what Doc Martens used to be way back
Oh, yeah.
when. Before Doc Martens like, got bought out, and now they just make fashion shoes.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, because I have some girly Doc Martens.
Yeah. They're not made to, I mean, they're cosmetic shoes. They're something you put on to go to the club one night. You wear them like 5 times in a row, they'll fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
They will.
Yeah.
And like that's why I quit buying Doc Martens. I mean, I bought Doc Martens since like 1993,
Yeah,
1994.
Yeah.
But yeah, Silver. If you're looking for like some decent dress shoes, they got steel toes and stuff like that. But I like their fancy ones. They're loafers.
Yeah.
Because they look weird. You know, like they got some like nice wingtips. They're like, oh look, those look like nice dress shoes, but they got the big chunky boot soles and bottoms on them.
Oh, okay.
Right. they look absurd, Jill. They look silly, and I'm a big fan of absurd and silly.
I have some like baby doll shoes that are usually what like the goths wear, and I love those shoes. They're really comfortable.
The goths.
Yeah. The goths. Or the steampunkers. Or Ren Fair.
Now I'm looking at boots. No, they're reasonably priced. Like most of them are under $300, which is a really good deal.
That is actually good for a nice pair of boots.
Or a nice pair of shoes.
I mean, I still have my pair of boots. I think they are Doc Martens. Yeah, they're the ones from 1989, and they still work. They still fit me.
Going on with their website. Firefox. There.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like regular shoes, except
Just
they got the big
classic.
chunky soles on them.
Yeah. Yep. That's what. Yeah. I have the kind of the woman's version of that, with the little latch that goes over, like the baby doll shoes.
And the thing about a pair of Solvars is, if you take care of them, man, 10, 15, 20 years. If you have a cobbler handy. All right. Yep. Cool, everybody. It's 4 o'clock. Jill's video has
I have
been turned off to save bandwidth.
Oh, okay.
And made it simple for me. You got Echo shoes? I don't know what Echo shoes are. What do they do?
Eco shoes. Are they the ones with the individual toes? Mm-hmm. Oh, hi, Mick Brown. Hi, Arian. Oh, there goes my video. Oh, good.
Yeah, I gotta play around with Jitsy's bandwidth estimation control, which is a constant fight after every version update, Jitsy.
Yeah.
Then again, how much do I pay Jitsy? Nothing. So am I really complaining? Not really. I figure it out every time. European shoes that have the European sizes. What?
Yeah.
We still need to know what Echo shoes are, though. You've skipped over this. You've just glossed over it. I'll never be able to find out. Historians will be like, what are Echo shoes?
E-shoes. Yeah, I know it's a brand. I'm gonna type it in because I think I have a pair. I'll admit I have over 50 pairs of shoes. I have lots of shoes. Because mine, they don't wear out. I mean, I have shoes from high school that still
If you only
still
got
look
50
beautiful.
pair of shoes, you're slacking, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Get
you
out
might
that
have more than
collection.
I do. I used to have more, but I finally kind of went through it and purged. Oh, yeah, the Denmark. Okay. Okay, yeah. And I do have a pair of their shoes. Yeah. Just like classic sneakers.
I guess I don't wear sneakers.
Yeah, I think I represent every brand in my collection. From Nike to Adidas.
I have a pair of Converse that I run in, but that's it.
Oh, yeah, your running shoes.
And I just buy those because they're cheap and disposable when they wear out. Just get another pair of Converse.
I have the shoe brand I have most of is Asics because I have their volleyball shoes. I've got about 3 pairs of volleyball shoes.
All right. Cool, everybody. I got a bunch of running around to do. What are you up to this afternoon, Jill? You going to let Steve get sleep?
Yeah, and I'm going to see what he wants to eat and get that prepared. Poor guy.
Even make golf shoes. I got bowling shoes. I don't have, think before you speak. I probably don't have golf shoes. I'm not 100%
yeah, I don't.
on
That's something I don't have. I know I don't have.
I know I have my bowling shoes. I think I borrowed golf shoes last time I went and played golf. I don't think I bought any, but I'm not 100% on that. But what I'm not 100% on is I might have just taken those shoes home with me. So I might technically have golf shoes.
Oh, okay.
It's just I didn't buy them. Oh, man. Fun times, fun times. All right, we're going to bounce. Check this out. Tomorrow night, Jordan's going to be back. Borderlands 3. If you like that, you haven't had a chance to come through it, sit down, watch him play through it. If you want to participate, you're welcome to do that too. Just hop in our Discord and ask the Burning Fool, or actually Frojo. Just check the event thing. I'll have information posted up there if you want to join in. That'd be cool.
Yeah, join in. Jorderlands.
That'll be going down and Friday.
Fridays, Trackmania. Woohoo!
I got the tracks swapped out. I swapped out 2 tracks from Tuesday. Tuesday, we do 14 new tracks. We get in there and, take a look, see what we like, what we don't like. Then we go back, alter the deal. Then we got our own little private server that we can play on and anytime, 24/7. And it keeps track of our scores and all that. And we practice. And on Friday, we get together and we race for points. So it's good times. Had by all. We'll be doing that again at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Again, it's on the schedule over at twitch.tv.
No. Thank you, Justin.
Okay.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you, McBrown, for joining us again. Yay, it's always good to see you, Arian.
And, yep. We'll be in
By Artherin.
Discord, wherever we're at. Bye-bye.